Choosing my favourite blushes is like choosing my favourite children. Hey everyone, welcome back. My name is Carmel, and in today's video I'm going to be sharing with you 10 of the most amazing cream blushes. So I have picked 10 of my most favourite cream blushes that I think are absolutely perfect for everyday wear, but they are also super blendable, really easy to use and super flattering on a mature skin. I've picked blushes from all kinds of price points, so we have affordable and we have high-end too. So if that sounds like something that you might be interested in, then please do keep on watching. Are these ranked? I guess kind of. I guess they're kind of ranked in an order because number one in both categories, well, number one and two are definitely my favorites, I would say, from both high-end and the drugstore. And I just wanted to give a little disclaimer before we get started. I applied every single one of these blushes in one go. So I just want you to keep that in mind when you are looking at my skin in the footage that I'm going to be showing you, because I obviously had to reapply my moisturizer and then each blush on top. So I would say that my skin looks a little bit glowier than it would usually if I was just wearing it on its own, but I will explain that to you as we go along. I always have my information listed in the description box below, but I have dry skin, I also have a neutral olive undertone, and I prefer more of a glowier finish. However, there is something in here for everybody, so not just glowy. So for each of these blushes, I applied with the very same brush, and it's the BK Beauty 109, which is my absolute favourite for creams and liquids. And I did buy all of these blushes with my own money. There's nothing gifted here, nothing sent to me in PR. So let's crack on with blush number one, and that is the Maybelline Cloudtopia Cheek and Lip Mousse. This costs around €13, and for that you get 5 grams of product. So this blush is a little bit different, and that's why I wanted to start with this one, because this has a very moussey consistency. So it claims to create a soft focus velvety finish which blurs imperfections and leaves you with a flawless complexion. It delivers up to 14 hours of cheek colour, staying vibrant and true. It also claims to be transfer resistant and resists fading, smudging and creasing. So I have a couple of shades in this, but my favourite does have to be Enchanted Mauve. It is an absolutely stunning colour. I think the biggest challenge with this blush is figuring out how to apply it, and I did definitely experiment in lots of different ways, but honestly the best way that I can apply this is to just dip my brush really gently into the pot and then apply it that way. But remember to build slowly rather than going in heavy-handed, because this blush is super duper pigmented. So as I said, it has a moussey kind of whipped consistency, and it makes it feel and look really airy on the skin. I find that this is very blurred, and I think that it gives you a very soft matte finish. This is great for people who do not like a super glowy cheek. Now I know it looks kind of glowy on my cheeks in the footage, but that's because I have a very hydrated moisturizer on underneath, so it's definitely coming out a lot more glowy in the footage than it really is. This is such a long-lasting blush. It will last you from morning till the evening. I genuinely think this is suitable for all skin types. So I have dry skin and it's perfect on me. If you have oilier skin, I think you'd really appreciate this because it's designed to resist sweat and it's supposed to be fade resistant as well. And if you live in a humid climate, this would be the perfect blush for you because it is no budge. So yes, the Maybelline Cloudtopia, absolutely beautiful, and you can also use it on the lips as it says, and all of these blushes that I'm applying today, I will show them you on the lips as well because a lot of them are very multifunctional. So yes, a beautiful, blurred, pigmented blush that will last you all day. Beautiful. So blush number two is this one from Pixi. This is the On The Glow Blush Tinted Moisture Stick. So this is a newer blush to my collection. It's one that I wanted to start testing when I knew that I would be putting a cream blush video together. So although this is drugstore, this is a little bit more on the expensive side. So this costs around €22, but for that, you get a whopping 19 grams of product. So this claims to be a hydrated, solid cheek tint, which can be used on the cheeks or the lips. It is vitamin-packed for antioxidant benefits. It has a one-sweep colour payoff, and it complements all skin tones. This blush is designed to give you a hint of natural colour whilst hydrating and conditioning your skin. So I have this in the shade Fleur, which is the most beautiful kind of baby pink colour. I didn't think I would really gel with this colour. However, I find this to be so youthful when you put it on the cheeks. It's just so incredibly fresh looking. This is for a specific kind of person. If you have seriously dry skin, it's for you. If you have a preference where you like your cheeks to look super hydrated, plump and juicy and youthful looking, this blush is also for you. If you like a no makeup look, this is also for you. Now, with sticks in general, I don't tend to just swipe them onto my skin, and in the first bit of the footage, I do apply it with the brush directly from the actual stick. However, you'll see me go in then and show you how you can swipe this on the cheeks. And this is definitely a blush that you can go in just on your cheeks really quickly for a sheer wash of colour. It will not disturb what's on underneath. This is not going to be for everybody because this is going to give you that glass effect. So it's really, really dewy. However, it's dewy but without being greasy. And I feel like this is the perfect summer blush. So if you are going for a no makeup look, or if you just want a little bit of colour to the cheeks, this is perfect for that. Even though it's sheer, I do find it really, really buildable. So you can go in with just a little sheer wash of colour, or you can build it up and it can be really, really prominent on the cheeks. The great thing about this is it gives you really hydrated, nourished skin, but it doesn't sit on top of the skin. It definitely melts in, and it is just perfect for those more dry skinned people out there. However, I do think if you have more oilier skin, I'm not sure that you would really like this. Now, despite it being quite a dewy product, I find that it lasts really, really well on my skin. Not as long lasting as the Maybelline, but still long lasting all the same. Really gorgeous, especially for that no makeup look. Next we have a blush stick, and this is from Kiko Milano, and this is the Velvet Touch Creamy Blush Stick. It retails for about €12, and for that you get 10 grams of product. I have this in the shade 07 Natural Rose, and it really is that really subtle dusty rose colour. So this claims to be a radiant blush stick, which has a formula enriched with African walnut oil and soothing pistachio extract. It has a soft and creamy texture, which adheres flawlessly to the skin. It is effortlessly buildable and blendable with a formula that melts into the skin with a luminous candle-lit finish. I think the name of the blush is really apt actually, because it's called Velvet Touch, and this does feel fairly velvety and smooth when you are applying it. This is one of the easiest blush sticks I've ever worked with. So it is really, really pigmented, but not too pigmented that you're going to run into trouble with it. So I find it super creamy, super easy to blend. I love the shade because it looks so natural. Now it says that it's a radiant finish, but on me, I would say that it's definitely more of a natural leaning finish. So I think that even if you had a soft matte preference, or if you had more oilier skin, I think you would really like this blush stick. I feel like this is one of the most effortless blushes that we have in this roundup. I think it comes from the creaminess of the formula and the blendability. However, I just think that it looks so incredibly natural on the skin. So not too glowy, but definitely not flat at all. It really is so incredibly flattering. Honestly, I have so many people coming to me saying that they are scared of creams. They don't really know what they're doing. If that is you, this is a great blush to start with because it is so ridiculously easy to work with. Please don't be scared of creams. Please. They can be so much more flattering on the skin. If you're looking for a beautiful, natural, beginner-friendly blush, this one from Kiko Milano definitely ticks the boxes. Next up, we have another blush stick, but this is a little bit different, and this is from Physicians Formula. This is the Butter Glow and Go. So when I say dual, I mean it's got a blush on one side, but it actually has a bronzer on the other, and this is absolutely phenomenal. One of my absolute holy grail products. This retails for €20, and for that you get 10 grams of product. And I have this in the shade Sunkissed Rose. So this claims to be a buttery smooth formula which replaces your contour, bronzer, blush, eyeshadow, lip colour and more in one convenient stick. It's packed with hydrating ingredients including muramura butter, and it has an ultra creamy formula which blends seamlessly into the skin for a beautiful and radiant finish. So the first thing that you need to be aware of with this product is it does have quite a strong fragrance. Now I kind of like it. It smells coconutty, but if you are sensitive to fragrance, if you just don't like fragrance, then you are going to want to give this one a miss. So although I did swatch the bronzer there for you, I am going to just focus on the blush. This is one of the most beautiful blushes I've honestly ever used. This is very comparable to high end. In fact, there's a blush that I'm going to talk about from luxury, and this is definitely a dupe for that, and it's the Dior. Spoiler, and I have spoken about this before. This is like silk on the skin, genuinely. It literally applies and blends so seamlessly. Oh, yes, it has the radiance. Yes, there is some glow there. It's not going to feel sticky or tacky on the cheeks at all. I find the formula of both the bronzer and the blush very, very buttery, very, very seamless to blend. And that's what you want in a cream product. You don't want something that dries down quickly, that really is a little bit finicky to blend out. This is just perfection. Physicians Formula, I find, is a little bit more on the pricey side. However, with this, I really do think you are getting your money's worth. I think it's great for travel. I think just for convenience, having a 2-in-1. If you are going to try anything from Physicians Formula at all, I would say to you this. It's as premium as you are going to get. So my last blush in the affordable section, it's going to be no surprise what it's going to be. It's going to be these blushes from Morphe, Cheek Thrills Blush Trios. I have a good few shades of these, but I'm going to show you my favorite shade, which is Blind Date. So these retail for around €22, and for that you get 10.8 grams of product. The top, you are getting a cream blush, then you are getting a luminous balm, which is like a highlighter, and at the bottom you are getting a powder blush. I think you can see there that I'm not really the biggest fan of using powder blushes, so I really do focus my attention on the cream. Today we are just going to focus on the cream blush at the top. So this claims to be a satin blush, and it is enriched with avocado oil and mango butter and provides seamless, smooth colour that melts into the skin, also helping to hydrate the skin over the course of the day. So as I said, I have this blush in the shade Blind Date, which out of all of the shades I've chosen from the Morphe trios, this is definitely my favourite. It's just the most perfect mid-tone pink, and I find that it goes with any look that I'm going for. So I think it is very neutral on my skin, and I just love the finish of it. So as I said, it's satin, so it's not too glowy, but it's not a flat matte either. And I just find that it looks so smooth and so flattering on my skin. Now, although these are really, really pigmented, I find that you can really customize the level of coverage with these. So if you want to go in with just a sheer application, that is completely possible. If you want to build up the intensity and have something more vibrant, you can absolutely do that too. And obviously you have your different finishes here, so you can have that layered effect. It lasts incredibly well throughout the day as well. All of these blushes, apart from when I specifically tell you, all of these blushes last beautifully. I would say to you, these blush trios, they are so incredibly top tier. I would be very surprised if you bought this and you didn't fall in love with it. They really are something special. Okay, we're going to move over to higher end now, higher end luxury. Now, although I've put this in high end, I do think it's very affordable, so I think it could go on either. So this is actually from the Sephora collection. This is the new Multiuse cream blush. I've had this for a while and I've been testing it out for a while. I haven't included it in a video yet because I just don't have enough hours in a day. However, this is absolutely beautiful. So this retails for about €16, and for that you get 3.5 grams of product. So this cream blush transforms from a cream to a powder upon application. Its intense pigmentation delivers fresh, vibrant colour in a single stroke and blends effortlessly with your fingers or with a brush. I have this in the shade Wild Peony, which is quite a vibrant, I would call it a fuchsia shade, and I wouldn't always go for super pigmented shades like this. However, this is so customizable, so do not be freaked out at the shade of this. This is surprisingly easy to work with despite it being very pigmented. Now, I obviously chose one of the more pigmented shades. There aren't more natural shades that are available. This definitely does transform as you apply, so it is very creamy looking and feeling, but it definitely does blend out into a powdery and really soft finish. Even when I swatch it on my hand, it just transforms into this powdery type texture, but not a dry powdery texture. It still maintains that kind of hydrated feel of the cream. And I did just want to say one thing about the finish of it. Although it is a cream to powder, I think it depends on your base. So for me, it doesn't come out soft matte. It just comes out with maybe a satin finish. So that's something to bear in mind. It definitely depends, as with any of these blushes, on your base products. Here's the thing. I don't think you get a lot of product with this at all. So 3.5 grams, it is really teeny tiny. However, you definitely don't need a lot of this. Literally the tiniest amount will give you the most beautiful looking cheeks. Just trust me on that one. You're not going to use a lot of this. I think the major negative for me is the packaging. Now this can be a plus or a minus. It's really flimsy cardboard packaging. Number one, it feels a little bit cheap, but it's great for the environment. It's great for travel. This is really lightweight. So it really does depend on your outlook on things. Yeah, I've been so pleasantly surprised with this. Highly pigmented, but still really easy to use. Definitely worth checking out. It's really gorgeous. Next up, we have this blush stick from Rhode. This is the Rhode Pocket Blush. This retails for about €28, and for that, you get 5.3 grams of product. So I have this in the shade Tan Line, which is described as a pinky tan, and I think it's the most beautiful shade for either the summer or the fall. It really is absolutely gorgeous. So this is designed to be an on-the-go cream blush, which is why it's so small, and it's designed to just fit into your pocket. It gives you a satiny diffused flush which melts onto the skin and stays smooth and beautiful all day. It has a really lightweight formula which hydrates the skin, leaving you with a really healthy look to the cheeks. This is actually one of the only blushes in this whole video that I will genuinely use as a lipstick. I don't generally tend to use things on my cheeks and my lips at the same time, but I definitely do with this Rhode. So I think this is really, really pigmented, but it's so easy to work with. Again, like with any of these, if you want to have a really toned down look, you can do. So something that goes with a no makeup look. However, you can definitely build up the intensity of this. I love the finish. So it's not super glowy on me. It's definitely more of a satin / natural finish, and it lasts all day. It definitely has that understated radiance to it, and it feels and just looks so incredibly smooth. I definitely find that when I wear this, I feel like I have that natural lit from within glow rather than something really, really in your face. It's just so good. These really are worth the hype. I love these, and I can see why so many other people love them too. So we have another blush stick, and this one is from Dior. This is the Dior Backstage Rosy Glow Stick. So this retails for about €46, and for that you get 6 grams of product. I have this in the shade 012, which is Rosewood. So this claims to give a natural / dewy glowy finish, which adapts to the skin's pH for a custom colour and dewy look, reflecting light to enhance the cheekbones. It's infused with cherry oil and provides up to 12 hours of hydration and wear. Now, I didn't purchase this for absolutely ages because of these pH activated claims. I'm not a pH activated fan, so if you're unaware of that, there are lots of products that you can purchase which claim to adapt to your skin's natural tone and will give you the perfect colour. When I do that, I end up with something that's really hot pink, okay? It's probably just my olive skin. So I avoided this for ages. Now I'm going to say this, I don't think there's anything pH activated about this at all, not even a little bit. So if you are worried about that, you are completely safe. So as with the Physicians Formula, the one negative of this blush is the fragrance. Now this is a different fragrance to the Physicians Formula. This is kind of, I would describe it as a vanilla / minty fragrance. However, I don't mind it. I kind of like the smell of this, and I love the look of this. So this, by the way, is very similar to the Physicians Formula. Everything about it, from the shade to the finish. So for me, this gives more of a glassy sheen to the skin. So it does remain a little bit tacky for a while, but it does give you that really fresh and luminous finish. So if you like super glowy cheeks, this is going to give you that. It does have those reflective qualities, but I don't think that there's anything pore emphasizing about this. I mean, in the video, I did notice that my pores don't look the best in all the footage, but it was because I was taking off my makeup so many times and then putting it back on again. It was rough. It was pretty rough. Definitely more on the luxury side, definitely more expensive, but for me, it's worth every penny. So next we have one of the most beautiful cream blushes you could ever put on your skin ever. And it's these ones from Patrick Ta. These are the Double Take Cream and Powder blushes. My absolute all-time favorite blush for every day that I don't have to think about is this one. This is the shade Not Too Much. So this blush retails for about €42, and for that you get 10.5 grams of product. So like the Morphe, you are getting more for your money here because you are getting a cream, but you are getting a powder as well. You have the cream, which delivers a natural radiance, and the powder provides a soft matte finish. So you can wear them separately, or you can layer the cream over the powder for Patrick's signature long-lasting glow, which I think is so brilliant, and it really does help with the longevity of this blush as well. As I said, I know a lot of people say that cream blushes don't last on them, and I really think it just boils down to your skin type. So if you are more oily, you could even put the powder on first, layer with the cream, and then dust a little bit of the powder blush over the top of it. I absolutely adore these blushes. I think they are so incredibly premium. They last beautifully, they blend beautifully, they're smooth, they are just delightful. I would say that this gives me a really beautiful satin finish, but if I wear something a lot glowier underneath the blush, then it will obviously come out a lot glowier. It depends on what I'm going for that day, really. These are so pigmented, so creamy, so easy to work with. I think that they're really, really versatile. I think there are some insanely beautiful shades as well. I have never regretted purchasing this. It's one of the best cream blush formulas out there. Whether you want high impact or something a little bit softer, you cannot go wrong with these Patrick Ta duos. They are just phenomenal. So the last cream blush that I want to talk about, I'm putting Patrick Ta joint with another cream blush because this formula is just ridiculous. And it's the Charlotte Tilbury Unreal Blush Healthy Glow Sticks. Again, I bought all of these with my own money. These are just amazing. I always lean towards more pinky tones, more cool tones, and today I'm actually wearing the shade Rosy Glow. There's some beautiful shades to choose from, seriously. So these retail for €36, but for that you get 9 grams of product. So this claims to be a formula supercharged with skin-loving ingredients that hydrate and plump whilst delivering long-lasting colour for a buttery smooth application. Contains microfine pearlescent pigments for a glazed sheen and a luminous finish. Not only will it help to hydrate your skin, but it will help to strengthen your skin barrier over time. Everything about these is really luxe feeling, so everything from the packaging to the finish. So these are definitely more on the pigmented side, as you can see here. I think my two favourite shades are Rosy Glow, which is what I applied in the video, in the footage, but I also love Cherry Glow as well, which looks really, really intimidating, but it really does depend on how much you apply. So all you need to do is share these out and they will just give you the most beautiful luminous finish on the skin that is honestly not too glowy. I know these claim to be a super glowy stick, but I don't find them to be overly glowy. I definitely think that the Dior is way more glowy than the Charlotte Tilbury. So as the description says, these have a pearlescent luminosity, so there's nothing sparkly in there. These just catch the light so incredibly beautifully. And if my skin is feeling particularly dry, if I just want my skin to look youthful and plump, these give me that. They give that natural juiciness to the skin, and I just absolutely couldn't love these anymore. Genuinely, if you are looking for, like it says in the name, healthy looking skin, these are absolutely insanely good. Now my bonus blush is not a cream. It's not a cream, but it's a blush that I need to talk about because it's so good. And I think it's the most suitable out of all blushes I have for every skin type, and it's this new one from Fenty. This is the Fenty Beauty Shake and Play Liquid Blush. Genuinely, this is one of the best blushes I've ever tried. Now, no, it's not a cream, but it's not very liquidy either. I feel like, yes, it goes on feeling liquidy, but it kind of transforms into like a velvety finish. And it could easily slot in with these 10 blushes. So that's why I wanted to add it. So this retails for €25, but for that you get 9.7 ml of product, which is absolutely massive. So this blush is infused with cucumber extract to hydrate and refresh the skin, and a formula which promises a luminous, just applied effect throughout the day. So it claims a natural blurred finish to the skin that lasts for up to 12 hours. But this one from Fenty, it just delivers everything you need. This is going to last you forever because one dot is sufficient to give you a beautiful looking cheek. Honestly, it's absolutely phenomenal. So I had to include it. I find this to give me, it depends really on the base products that I've got on, but I would say the most natural finish on the skin. So it's definitely not matte on me, but it's definitely not glowy either. And let me tell you that there are two blushes that I find are the most long lasting. This one only just missed out in a place in my top 11. It's ended up being. This is from Benefit, the Dewy Gel Blush. This I don't find particularly dewy on me, but oh my gosh, does it last. This is like a blush stain and it's absolutely amazing. The other ones just pipped it to the post, that's all. But if you are looking for the most long-lasting blushes, this one from Benefit, I will swatch that and it will still be on there literally like 12 to 13 hours later. These are absolutely beautiful, beautiful blushes. I'm going to stop now with the exceptions because honestly, choosing my favorite blushes is like choosing my favorite children. I have so many that I absolutely love that I could talk to you for hours about, but these blushes here, absolutely beautiful, and I would be happy to recommend any to you. So please do let me know, have you tried any of these blushes, or do you have another cream blush that you absolutely love? If you do, tell us all about it in the comments. Thank you so much for joining me for this video. I so appreciate you being here with me. I'm really looking forward to seeing you in the next video. But until then, take care and bye for now.